With Babylon in his grasp, Cyrus walked its streets, not cloaked, not hidden. The Lion of Persia entered the heart of a shattered empire with the eyes of Ahura Mazda upon him. Beside him, Silence marched in black armor. Cyrus had conquered empires, but he never believed a man could own another. To him, chains were not a symbol of order. They were a disease of pride. So as he walked the streets of Babylon, he looked not for gold, but for iron. And when he found it, he shattered it. One by one, the shackles fell. From elders, from children, from those who had forgotten the sound of their own names. He freed them not for favor, nor for legend, but because he could not call himself king while others still knelt in the dark. Cyrus stood in the ruins of a Babylonian temple. No crown, no throne, just stone, fire, and silence. The people gathered, freed slaves, priests, merchants, children, all waiting to hear what kind of ruler he would be.
This land belongs to all those that call this place home. No more forced gods, no more stolen names, no more chains. Let this be written.
And so, from the mouth of a king, words became clay, not carved in triumph, but in truth. And in the end, no monument stood taller than that cylinder, a voice sealed in fire, for the day the world would listen. The chains were broken, the decree had been written. They gathered, nobles in silence, priests watching, freed men unsure of their future. And at the center stood Cyrus, not celebrating, not claiming, just watching. Suddenly, from the shadows of fallen lineage, a voice rose. A voice spoiled with false pride. He stepped forward, a prince with no throne, no army, only rage wrapped in silk.
You stand in the ashes of gods and call yourself merciful. You tear down the throne of kings and replace it with silence. You freed slaves. You forgave priests. You gave names to those who should kneel. But tell me, Cyrus, what king bows before the broken and calls it justice? I invoke the right of single combat. Let the gods judge us. Scrolls or speeches. You claim to rule with justice, then stand and prove it with steel.
You speak of gods and honor, but all I see is a boy clinging to dust. Let them see what honor truly looks like when it chooses not to crush.
Great citizens of Babylon, watch now as I make a fool of this foul Persian heretic. Let his name be forever smeared in the mud.
Face me when you speak, child. There is much you have to learn.
Before kings wore crowns, they stood in dust, not to be worshipped, but to be weighed. And so they gathered, those who had been chained, those who had ruled, those who feared what would come. They came not for blood, but for proof. The young prince charged. Wild, loud, burning. But Cyrus was silence sharpened into steel. He stepped once, just once, and turned the fury aside like it was nothing. Dust rose, and the prince staggered.
Enough blood has spoken for empires. I've seen kingdoms drowned in it, heard it cry from the mouths of children, watched it stain thrones and scriptures alike. But not today. Not here. I choose silence.